She shouldn't do that again.
Which part?
Don't do that again.
Do what? Do the record.
Don't take any East Coast top 3-4 rapper beat, classic song, and redo that.
Girl, really?
All right, so the infamous Joe Budden has returned to the podcast, and we got to see what he thinks about Cardi B's Imaginary Playerz. We heard from his podcast co-host last week. Let's see what the Podfather has to say. Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe. Let's get it.
Joe, we gave some music takes up here while you were gone.
Unfortunately.
I knew you were gonna say
Unfortunately, y'all did.
What was your take on our takes?
I mean, the little bit I agree with always get drowned out by just some gibberish. Like, I don't know what y'all be doing to my brother Parks when I'm gone.
What happened?
Parks don't be believing. I don't believe that Parks believes what he says when I'm gone.
Maybe that's when the only time he feels free.
Cardi was killing.
That's a killing?
I don't think he said that.
I don't know if I said killing. I think she did all right.
Me and Imani were basically like good bars, not good delivery. Other people said the delivery was good and they thought she came strong. I thought you were kind of in the middle of that. Like
I wasn't mad at it. I think
wasn't mad at the record.
What's Joe Budden's take on it?
She shouldn't do that again.
Which part?
Don't do that again.
do what? Do the record.
Don't take any East Coast top 3-4 rapper beat, classic song, and redo that. Because Imani was right. Even it's given remnants of that because of the flow and the emulation and the pocket and what you did. Mm-hmm. We're gonna shout out the writers. The writers killed. This is not about the writers. Mm-hmm. The writers killed. Mm-hmm. I agree with y'all that said this is well written.
The
bars are there.
Yes.
That wasn't enough. That delivery, those punch-ins.
The punch-ins were definitely out.
Those, should have been able to tell how choppy that was. Imaginary Player, for y'all that wasn't there, Hove, when that dropped, was a much better rapper than that. It was just fly because of the cadence and the flow and what he was saying. It's aura and voice control, and Cardi is in the same pitch, same tone, sounding choppy, not smooth. Bars are there, but this is not the beat for that. And to prove myself,
I heard somebody
correct,
flip it and put it on
Get Money.
They
put it on Get Money. I'm about to play it.
I wasn't mad at that Get Money.
I wasn't mad at it either.
Much better on Get Money. The Get Money beat.
I wasn't mad at it.
And that's because Get Money doesn't come with the flow and the aura and
sarcasm.
It's very different. Let me find this thing. Here it is. I got more Gaultier than John probably. It's only the Imaginary Playerz beat that's making her sound like you shouldn't be on here. Yeah. You shouldn't be on here. I used to have a rule when I was rapping. Some beats just you got it. You got it. We don't need to do that.
That's MC like for the culture talk. Like, no, this is too classic to touch. I don't think that she's in that ballpark. I think she's in the ballpark of the hit makers and them that'll take anything.
Mm-hmm. I
make it a bop if it's gonna be.
I also don't think anybody has so much commentary if this is just released as a freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah. As the second single with the
nobody's
album
doing
3 weeks
all
away.
this judging.
Oh, it's a freestyle, yeah.
If this is a
I'm with
freestyle, but there's sharks. There's Cardi seems to be swimming in shark-infested waters. Is why there's so many eyes and ears and critics on this.
Of course.
Her album is slated to drop next month. Mm-hmm. We at the end of August.
3 weeks from now.
Yep.
The first record.
Yeah.
Now we're not hearing anything but this, which should be a freestyle. I'm certain that there'll be another record.
There's definitely going to be another record.
I'm certain there'll be another record released before this. But listen, my take on this, I don't think that they'll let Cardi fail because it's a reflection on them. I think she'll win.
Absolutely.
Because they made her win.
I also think that she's built up enough equity to get people to come press play regardless.
I totally disagree with that. Not 8 years later.
I disagree with you. I think her fans are fairly rabid.
Yeah, I think so too.
She's out of here.
I think there's 10 people in this room alone that are going to go press play at midnight.
I'm gonna press play immediately.
Yeah, I'm gonna press play. Second to drop.
Yeah.
I hear you. We shall see.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear that way.
Longevity is a different question.
We're not on longevity with somebody that's taken 8 years between albums.
Right.
We dealing with what it is, which is what do y'all see from her that's giving y'all confidence in this, what she's going to do here,
I
or
think
what you'll hear here.
For me, it's a divided response on the internet. Some people, there's the people who hate this, right? Just on this song alone. But there's people who are like living and dying by it. People who are making Instagrams off of it. People who are making TikToks off of it. Yeah, I think there's a core base of people that are going to. I think this is going to move some solid units.
But is the core enough?
What does it look like? What does that first? See, because that's where I'm at. What does that first week look like? What I'm talking about is the difference between 120,000 people. I'm saying 8 years on break. You lost 100,000 people.
I think Cardi's doing 2 off.
Yeah, I think she's doing 250 the first week.
Oh, I don't see that.
I don't.
2 is a lot.
No, I don't. Y'all,
There's nothing that
Cardi
shows
shock
that
y'all.
right now, bro.
I think that y'all are you was on your phone. Girls are taking the song. This shit is all over the Instagram. This shit is all on everybody's memes and reels and all of that. So I don't know if that's.
I think you're also
the
mistaking
label
quality of music and equity and interest from the public. I think that people
That's
will
what
go
I'm saying.
press play just because it's Cardi.
Because it's Cardi. I think she's
Even
big
just
enough
that hate
deal.
on it. I think people will go press play.
Even what you saying, like, yo, the punches and all of that shit, y'all heard the punches. I didn't.
No, I heard it, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, the average person didn't hear that. And the average person not
they
looking
heard
at
them.
it.
They just don't know to call them punches. But when they say it wasn't smooth,
they're talking
That's
about.
that's what they're saying.
Got you. I don't know.
Listen, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to come in
Are
here
they
and
push-
say it. But y'all, I say for 10 years on this podcast, we sleep on how difficult it is to sell one of something.
Agree.
Gunna just sold 80,000 with good music, with people anticipating good music. The clips rolling out for however many years did $120 something. I mean, not rolling out for years, but I'm saying Louis Vuitton, Fat Runway. They was everywhere they needed to be. One of the best rollouts we've seen.
For sure.
Like, it's just tough to sell. What did Nicki do last time with that? Everybody, what was that
She
first
did a
week?
lot. I forgot.
she did a lot.
Nicki went crazy.
But it was like $178 or something.
Nah,
I'll tell you.
I think it was.
I think
I
it's
thought
I
higher
thought it was
than
more than that. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, tell me what it is, because I don't know. But what I'm saying is, 8 years in between, your star power is hidden everywhere else outside of music.
I think if she
y'all are
drops a
asking
bop-
a lot to say 250.
If she drops a bop right after this, I think she's going
So
to
Pink
go.
Her
Friday
first week,
2
her first week was 228.
228. That's about the zone I see Cardi in.
I don't see
Oh
that.
hell no!
Somewhere between 2 and 250.
See, 2 things is missing. One, Nicki had a record. I don't even want to compare them. Let's move Nicki out of this. I don't see any record or anything. Outside didn't work. We can call it. We can just tell the truth.
it
It
didn't
didn't
work.
work.
Agreed.
This record here, I think the fact that it's a Jay-Z sample is going to make people rush to hear it, whether you to hate it, like it. See what you did over the Jay-Z sample. Cool. Are there any projections of what this album, what this song is doing right now? Like, did it debut on the chart anywhere?
I'm not sure.
I'm
It
not sure.
debuted on the chart at and I'm freestyling. at
147.
1, and then the second week it dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like,
But I don't think anybody should be tracking chart position.
I don't. You know, I don't
It
use
should
that
have been
for
a
anything.
freestyle.
I don't use that for anything. I'm just there. I'm saying that because we're having a numbers talk right now.
Right.
There's nothing. We're 3 weeks out from this album. There's nothing that they've done so far that's showing that's sticking.
Yeah, and let me advance the
Ain't
conversation.
nothing there.
I want to stay where Freeze is and advance this conversation a little bit. If she's an artist that will sell 250 week 1, the label would know it at this point and where the clock is. And if they knew that, we would be seeing something different than what we're seeing right now.
I still think that's coming. Personally, I think she's getting ready to do. I think the rollout,
Vanity
really,
Fair,
all of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Vogue,
All that
I
shit's
think
about
all
to
that's
happen.
happening for her rollout. I just think it's much closer to album
Because
drop.
September 12th is Fashion Week.
September 19th is the album.
Yeah.
Got you.
So
So,
it's the
yeah.
week out- yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
she's
think
got 4 weeks
she
to
got
do
a
this.
lot of shit
September 12th is
planned.
Fashion Week. I got
The
it.
As we
last
get closer
time
to the album.
you have seen your purchasing power was 8 years ago. I'm not talking about your star power.
And times is different 8 years ago.
The last time you saw your purchasing audience buy I don't care what's going on TikTok. That's label moving around, and you have to get to the purchasing or streaming fan base.
Well,
hold on for a minute. Okay. You have to get to those people, not the people that want to play you on the TikTok, put your shit over here. You got to get to the people that's going to be there. I just ain't seen enough to say that she's warranting 250. I don't see it.
I think between you and 250. What's your projection? What's your projection as of now? What would you say?
Off just who she be, I give her between 120 and 180.
I'm with that.
I mean, that ain't that.
I was saying 150, but if she does 180, my nigga, after not having a project come out for 8 years, that's a win.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crisis.
I don't think the win is in what comes back for her, because I think the label has their mind made up to distance themselves from her. This is strictly a Joe Budden freestyle. I think the label is getting away from her after this, no matter what.
Are we questioning?
Now she do that 2 to 250 the first week.
If she does 300 the first week,
are we questioning the quality of the artist though, Joe? Because wouldn't like Frank Ocean or one of them niggas take long breaks like that and then come back and sell?
That's
Frank Ocean was
different.
Frank Ocean's.
That's what I'm saying. So we talking about the quality of the artist.
Yes.
And the narrative about the artist. Some artists are expected to kind of do that.
So, but we can't say it's when Joe say 8-year break, he's talking about Cardi B, the artist.
I'm talking
You're
about
not talking
Cardi.
because people have done that and killed it.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think the expectation she's in there cooking up a classic.
Got it.
Which is the difference than what happens with Frank Ocean or someone else like that is sitting for 5
And
years.
then
Yo, the fact that you got a freestyle 3 weeks from this album should be scary time.
Yeah.
That's a scary sign.
But you calling it a freestyle?
I don't think. I think this is an intentional. Oop. I think this was the club shit ain't really working all the way for me. Let me give it one where I'm just talking my shit.
Not off,
and then I'm gonna come back with it.
Not off a flop.
All right.
Not off something that the metrics or the label or the people are saying is a flop. I'm not coming off the flop with, yo, I'm not even hit this. No.
And there's that
no.
narrative out there, bro. There's that narrative like that's been said for a minute, like, yo, she won't drop because
That shit was lightning in a bottle. The
yeah,
first
like
album,
you're
and
not
the
gonna be able to.
sophomore Jinx conversation
Right, so
is
it's like,
hanging in the
there's
air.
been that she's afraid to drop conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Not saying I agree, but there's been that. So yeah, for the freestyle ain't the record. Well, not a freestyle, but I don't think Imaginary Players is the record to do after your first single. Hey, I'm back. I'm finally dropping. Here's my single. That flopped.
Forget the music and what the numbers look like, and I'll say this somewhat in closing. I just want to see what the press look like that she does.
You gonna see that?
Yeah, if she's doing Fashion Week.
You're gonna
dropping
see that.
Fashion
Y'all
Week.
keep telling me about Fashion Week and hip hop.
I'm
I
not
don't
even
give
talking
a
about
fuck
Fashion
about
Week.
Fashion Week.
I'm not saying.
and hip-hop.
I'm just.
I don't think you're going to see hip hop rollout.
She will be visible.
Very.
I think you're going to see
That's
Jimmy
important.
Fallon, Zach,
That's press.
Galifianakis. I think you're going to see some
They just had her at
unconventional non-hip-hop shit.
SummerSlam. NFL is about to start.
Yeah.
If you think you won't see her somewhere along, like
She gonna be in all that
they're
shit.
about to use her in everything major that's happening
That's
from
what I'm-
here
exactly.
until that album drops.
That's
You're
what
gonna
I'm
see
saying.
her.
It's not gonna be
They're
a
gonna
hip-hop
put her
rollout.
in front of your eyes.
Hopefully, and if that happens, I'll come in here and say I'm wrong. But if I'm sticking to my theory, which I am,
Okay.
which is that the label is going to distance themselves from her.
Still don't
after
mean
this.
you don't want your ROI.
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it means. We're not about to build you up, knowing that we're going to create distance for your value to be high going somewhere else. That's just an ancient record label thing. They're not going to do that. But they're not going to let her lose because it's a reflection on the new people in the building. So it's a slippery slope. We will see.
All right. I hate to say this. By the way, I need y'all to see this Joe Budden ensemble, okay? This is a NBA hockey jersey that Joe was wearing back in the day with a New York Yankee fit, okay? The black fitted cap, by the way. All right. Had to show y'all that real quick. I hate to say it, man, but I'm feeling like some of the Cardi B fans are right about the podcast. They feel like Joe never gives Cardi B her credit. I could feel a lot of hate emanating from Joe Budden in this commentary. It sounded like he walked in ready to hate. And I know a lot of people watching this video, y'all agree 100% with his take that Cardi sounded bad. I've heard it all, reading off of a paper. You know, she couldn't get with the beat. She was off beat. The beat was running from her. But Joe's coming in and he's saying, you know, Cardi should never touch a classic East Coast. Like, do a classic West Coast beat. Don't touch no classic East Coast. Don't touch Hove. But don't forget, Joe, your Lord and Savior, Sean Carter, Jay-Z, he cleared this. So, you know, when you giving all of this criticism to her, why you don't have no smoke for Jay? But God forbid you say anything wrong about Jay. I also heard the little shade he was throwing. The writers did great. He don't care about, in the credits of the song, it says it's written by Cardi. Now I know, because Cardi has this reputation for using writers and Party Fontaine and all of that, most of y'all don't believe she can write a lick. But she usually does give credit to the writers. Joe didn't say anything about that. Like, he came in 100% saying that this girl didn't write this song. Going back to my main thing that I'm saying, which is you don't want to give her any credit. Now, he did play a version of the song where she was rapping the same song off of Get Money by Biggie Smalls, and it did sound really good. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, you know, this proves that Imaginary Playerz, you know, it was something wrong with it. People liked the song. Joe also said she sounded choppy. He said she should never do this again. I just feel like he was doing the most. Because would you ever critique Nicki like this? Nicki's last album was really good. But when people came out with their disgust for this song, I saw a lot of people talking about what was that Nicki song? So people started talking about Chun-Li. And they said, well, you know, Chun-Li was some of the greatest ish we ever heard. And I'm thinking to myself, Chun-Li was all right. But I'm just going to say this, and a lot of Nicki fans might not like this. To me, the music took a dip after Safari left. Joe Budden would 100% agree with me on that. And a lot of people in hip hop would as well. But do you see people screaming that from the mountaintops? No. Because recently, Nicki found her bop and she came out with this last album and it was really good. And I feel like she's becoming more of an artist instead of just a rapper. I don't even know why we can't say that about Cardi B. Why can't Cardi B just put out a song that's a bop and that's good and people want to listen to? Okay, oh, they didn't hear the punch-ins. Now everybody want to have a deep philosophical conversation about the recordings of rap records. As if Cardi is the first person I ever heard where you could hear the punch-ins. Then, once again, shout out to Damaris from the Rory and Maul podcast who said, well, maybe she was just trying to enunciate herself so everybody could hear her clearly, so y'all could hear the words because the verses was so fire. If she would have got on this record and y'all didn't understand what she was saying, would people be talking about the writers did a good job and how the bars was so fire? So she can't win for nothing. Okay? Also, you know, I hate when people try to have this conversation about, oh, y'all wasn't outside back then when Imaginary Playerz came out. Bro, Imaginary Playerz is one of Jay-Z's best songs. I don't feel like this song disrespected Imaginary Playerz. And also, when I think about Cardi B doing Imaginary Playerz, I don't even think about Jay-Z. I'm not even putting it in the same category as Imaginary Playerz. I don't even need to have that conversation. This sounds like a girl bop. This sounds like something girls will play on the way to the club and going out. Why can't it just be that? My last point is, don't let me get started on this should have just been a freestyle. Joe was in there doing a lot of shade. This was shady Joe Budden in here, okay? It should have just been a freestyle. Like, that's basically him saying that this wasn't even a good song, like basically trying to diminish the song so much to say this was just a trash freestyle. Like this ain't nothing. She shouldn't even have put this on wax. She shouldn't even have put an album cover out for this. Like this ain't like, damn, Joe. I thought Cardi was a friend of the show. Should have been a freestyle. But Parks and a few other people who said they liked the song Ice, Parks and Ice, why y'all changing when Joe get there? Y'all liked the song last week and now Big Bad Joe come in the room and now all of a sudden, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Come on, bro. Stop. And this whole thing about 8 years later, 8 years later, do people still care? If y'all didn't care, y'all wouldn't be shitting on a song like y'all shitting on it right now. So it's going to be people who care. It's going to be people who buy the album just to hate on it. She going to do 200 plus just for the haters. The Barb's going to buy 100,000 worth of copies. And I'm not even sitting here acting like I'm a Cardi B stan. I want all women in hip hop to get an equal fair shot. But that takes somebody defending all of them. I'll sit here and defend Cardi like I'll defend Nicki, like I'll defend Doja Cat, even though Doja Cat be doing some weird ish, her music is still good. Even though Doechii is really weird, but I'll defend her music. I'm about the artists, okay? And I feel like Cardi deserves a fair shot with this, especially when y'all said 8 years later, she can't make nothing decent. But even in all of Joe's shade, the bars are fire. You have something positive to say about the song, which goes to, there's going to be something on this album worth listening to. Even if it's just for y'all to come in on the podcast and do a whole bunch of over critiquing. And I remember somebody a couple of days ago, they said they shouldn't talk about music if Joe isn't there. I think they should talk about music as if Joe is not there. Don't let Joe influence y'all opinions, Parks and Ice. And I'm not going to say they completely changed. They said they wasn't mad at it, but the enthusiasm changed. The energy changed. Y'all was hype about it last week. Now it's like, yeah, I liked it. You know how a girl be hiding from the camera? I liked it. But I love the pod, and that's why the pod is so good, because we can, get into these types of conversations. But y'all tell me what y'all thought about the commentary. I know a lot of y'all gonna say Joe was right, and that's fine. To each his own. I'm not mad at y'all. Music is meant to be subjective. And we'll see what Cardi comes back with next time. Maybe it's something that we all will like. Also, what do y'all think about the numbers Cardi will put up? And do y'all think she's coming out with another single? And do y'all think Imaginary Playerz will flop? Let me know in the comments. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.